What was the point? I mean, seriously, what was the point? It almost feels like they are treating this kid like a spectacle. And I know that's not how Bronny James wants to be perceived. He probably wants to be perceived as a serious player, wants to be perceived as a legitimate NBA prospect. And maybe he's a legitimate prospect, maybe he's not. I don't know. What I do know is prospects have no business on an NBA court during a game in the regular season. Preseason, that was understandable. I get it. LeBron wants to share an NBA court with his son during the preseason. Who cares? But the only reason that Bronny James was at that game last night was so he could be inserted into the rotation for 3 minutes. So his father could realize his dream in the NBA, they could pop a decent rating. You know, from a fatherly perspective, from a human perspective, I completely understand where LeBron James is coming from. There are sacrifices to greatness, sacrifices that most people just aren't willing to make. Last year, one of my friends, he started a YouTube channel. He wanted to try it out. He wanted to potentially make a living doing YouTube. Now, for a while, he was consistently uploading, but after a few months, I noticed that he would start, stop. Now, in this business, there is no such thing as stop. The only option is go. The other day, I texted him, I was just checking in on him, and I asked him what the hell was going on. Why would you upload consistently for a few weeks, then go silent for weeks at a time? He said family obligations were keeping him from being consistent. Sick child, baseball games for nieces and nephews or his own kids. He had to put the channel on the back burner so he could spend time with his family. Family first is what he told me. And you know, he's not wrong, but at the same time, he's not right for this business. If you want to make it, you have got to eat, sleep, and breathe it. It has got to consume you 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Last month, I had to rush my wife to the ER. She ends up spending 3 days in the hospital. Guess who isn't sleeping? Me, because while she is sleeping, I am sitting right there beside her working. Once she wakes up in the morning and I know she's okay and it's going to be a while before anything happens, I'm rushing home to get videos scheduled and uploaded. Because if I don't do it, no one else will. There is no guest host. There's no such thing as a replacement. It is a non-stop grind that most people just aren't willing to do. And if you own your own business, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, take my situation, multiply it times 1,000. That is the level of sacrifice that LeBron James has had to make over the last 2 decades. You know who taught Bronny how to play basketball? Trainers, because LeBron, he was on the road. You know who was helping him blow out the birthday candles? Mom, because LeBron was on the road or in the gym. From a fatherly perspective, I understand where LeBron James is coming from. And because of his legacy, this is one of the perks that he can take advantage of. No one in the Lakers organization is going to tell LeBron James that Bronny ain't ready. If LeBron wants Bronny to play, Bronny will play. From the perspective of making up lost time with his son, I get it. I understand it. But from the perspective of what's best for the future of Bronny James in the NBA, from the perspective of what's best for his development, I have my doubts. If you haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go ahead and get to the sponsor for today's video, Soul Dog USA. Even though the cat ladies at Woke United Methodist like to claim that Garfield is man's best friend, we all know that distinction really belongs to dogs. Now, you can do or say whatever the hell you want about me, but you can't do shit to my girls chewing Oreo. My friends at Soul Dog USA, they feel the same way about their dogs. Soul Dog USA is an animal animal-loving, patriotic clothing brand. If you like the open road and enjoy your God-given American freedom, Soul Dog USA has the apparel for you. They've got patriotic hats, hoodies, shirts, huggers for patriotic adult beverages of your choice. So click the link in the description below. Use my promo code BTL10, BTL10. Save 10% off your first purchase with Soul Dog USA. Last night, the legendary crew on TNT started their final season in the NBA. Now, the mistake that the NBA is making with that decision, that's a topic for another video. I don't care what happened between management at Turner Sports and Adam Silver. You put your ego to the side. You don't prematurely eliminate the best sports show in the history of television. But anyway, last night, the four legends, they kicked off their final season covering the league. Obviously, primary topic, Bronny James, a player who has yet to play a single minute of meaningful basketball. Didn't play meaningful basketball in college. He's damn sure never played meaningful basketball in the NBA because he just got here. Now, Kenny Smith, he was trying to make the case that Bronny belonged. He was trying to make the case that it's not all that unusual for a prospect to get playing time at the NBA level. And look, he's not necessarily wrong. Jose Alvarado, he was an undrafted free agent, and he's part of the Pelicans rotation. But it took him years to get to that point. He was able to develop in the G League. Jose Alvarado, he had to earn his spot. I think a lot of the problem that people have with Bronny James, they feel like all of this was handed to him, which it was. It was. Now, as usual, Charles Barkley, he was the voice of reason. Listen to what he said about Bronny James last night. Charles Barkley's right. The rest of us who were saying the exact same thing this summer, we were right. Bronny James ain't ready for the NBA. And you know how I know Bronny James isn't ready? Because the Lakers told us that last night. JJ Redick, he told us that last night. Don't listen to their words. Look at their actions. I know JJ Redick is saying what LeBron wants him to say publicly. Ooh, Bronny's a future star. Bronny's an elite defender. Bronny has a bright future warming the bench in this league. If JJ Redick really believed that bullshit, how come Bronny James only played for 3 minutes last night? In 3 minutes, Bronny James had 1 rebound, a missed wide open 3 that was set up perfectly by his father, and a missed layup. And no, this was not an Angel Reese special. Bronny James didn't go for a wide open layup and bounce the ball off the underneath of the backboard. His layup attempt, it was blocked by the best rim protector in the league, Rudy Gobert. Now, is 3 minutes of playing time enough to properly assess the readiness of Bronny James? Obviously not. But if he was actually ready, wouldn't he be a part of the rotation? There is nothing wrong with Bronny James not being ready. It's not like it's a secret. It's not like it's classified information. Everyone knows this kid ain't ready. Last night was nothing but a spectacle. Last night was JJ Redick giving in to the demands of LeBron James in the NBA. They wanted Bronny to play, so he played. Will he get consistent minutes going forward? Will Bronny James be a part of the Lakers' rotation? If the end goal for the Lakers is to win a championship, no. If the end goal is to allow LeBron James to spend the next 6 months on the road with his son, yes. Me personally, I think it's going to be the latter. I think we're going to see Bronny James remain on the Lakers roster. Last night, I finished Starting 5 on Netflix. If you haven't seen the show, I highly recommend it. It will give you a completely new perspective on LeBron James and other players in the NBA. But while I was watching the debut of Bronny James afterwards, something that LeBron James' wife said in the documentary really stuck out to me. Don't remember it verbatim, but she was talking about the legacy of her husband. She said something to the effect of, what else does he have to prove? What is left for him to accomplish? They cut to LeBron, and he was talking about people and how they debate his legacy on the court. He was saying that is not for him to decide. But one thing that people can't debate is his real legacy, his kids. And he's right. LeBron James is right. Him and his wife have raised three amazing kids. Well mannered, humble, polite, well spoken. Doesn't take you very long to figure out that LeBron's kids were raised right. But the reason it stuck out to me, it made me wonder what LeBron's true intentions are for this season. Do I think LeBron still wants to win a championship? Sure. But do I think his top priority is spending the season with his son? Absolutely. It's a weird situation. It's one of those situations where I can understand both sides. If I'm a fan of the Lakers, I would probably be aggravated. If I'm a teammate of LeBron James, I'm probably pissed off. NBA careers are short. You want the best players on your roster so you have the best chance at winning a championship. Bronny James takes away one of those spots. Now, at the same time, you could make the case that LeBron James has earned the right to do this. If this same situation happened in New Orleans with Drew Brees and he was given the opportunity to play a season with his son, after everything that Drew Brees has given to New Orleans, I would say that he earned the right to play with his kid. Now, the fan in me might be pissed off, especially if the Saints aren't winning, but from a fatherly human perspective, I would understand it. I don't know. Weird situation. What do you think about this? I know how we feel about LeBron James, the mythical racism, his Twitter attacks on police, everything that happened 4 years ago, but put all that to the side just for a second. Do you understand where he's coming from? If you're a fan of the Lakers, or if this were to happen on your team, would it piss you off that a roster spot was given to a player that probably isn't ready for it, hasn't earned it? Or would you understand it? Let me know. Give me your thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share the video. Appreciate your support. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com. I'll see you guys later.